What's up, friends? Hello, Mango. Hello, Captain. Hello, Nana. Welcome, everybody. I'm back. I have to get used to the sun being out when I'm streaming. Frederick! Hello. You'll have to let me know how the mic volume is. I have a new audio interface that I am trying out. And so it is... The gain, I think, is a little more sensitive than my old one. So you'll have to let me know if it sounds okay. Mic audio is great. What did you go for? I got a Universal Audio Volt 176. Because I wanted to go with something that had its own power supply and wasn't like bus power dependent. This is what I had been using before, which is still very good. Just a little like Focusrite Scarlett Solo buddy. But like the advantage of something like this is, being able to have, since it's entirely bus powered, if you're like on the go recording stuff, or if you're an instrumentalist musician or something, that's great. This is not going to leave my desk. So I wanted something. I was redoing a bunch of power things in my office, so I got a big new power strip hub that I've mounted to the underside of my desk that I can plug everything into. It also has USB A and C ports in it, so I could plug the dummy battery from my cameras directly into it, and give me a little bit more wiggle room when it comes to soldering days when I need to plug in the fan and the iron and everything else. I have more power available to me over here. So then that opened up being able to shuffle some other stuff around, and yes, it's nice. Didn't quite have the right screws for mounting the... I had to shave down the holes slightly that the power strip actually can connect to, because all the screws I had, the heads were a little bit too big. But it worked out in the end. So, a little bit more power flexibility. I don't have to stretch a weird power strip over from the other side of the office anymore that was also where my printer was plugged into, and it was stretched to the limit. The sound of summer. A little tropical saison here. Because I came back from being in Arkansas and then Florida, and now it's decided it wants to be warm here in Michigan. So we're actually getting up into warm temps this week, which is very cool. I'm very excited about it. Very fun trips. Work is work. There was a work trip attached to the front of it, but then it was actually a family trip that was very fun. After the fact, we went to the happiest place on earth, Walt Disney World, which I had not been to since 1997. So almost 30 years. Which was very fun. It was fun for me, but it was also very fun for my kid, who that's the main reason to actually see her absorbing a theme park experience for the first time. It was very cool. But now it's back to everything else. So how's everybody doing? How's life? How's the hobby while I was away? I took a few notes of things that I know happened, but slow? Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see any huge revelations or anything. I knew that the one thing I was paying attention to was the stuff with the Juna 60 being delayed and them switching manufacturers to Creative, which is kind of cool. I'm interested to see how that works out. And pushing the group by date and all that, which I did find interesting. I think I mentioned this in my Discord server, which, by the way, if you're not in there. Oh, come on. Is my bot not working? You go away for 2 weeks, and all your stuff stops. I mentioned it in the Discord server that I did jump in on both Bull Pit, the DCS set, and... Oh yeah, CloudBot was turned off. Don't know why. I didn't turn it off. Let's try that again. So I got in on DCS Bull Pit as well as Swag Keys Ferrofluid. So I'm very excited to find suitable boards for both of those in the future. But and it's hard to pass up those Swag Key prices, honestly. Like what you can get for the price, and you still are getting really good quality. Bull Pit's outside of your budget right now, but went in on Ferrofluid. Ferrofluid's so nice. I feel like I want to... I mean, of course you could match it with a really nice cobalt blue, and I know that it was kind of meant to go along with the Gahern 60 in that blue. But like, if you could find like a really nice hot pink board to accent like the alphas, the alpha legends, I think that would be really cool. So I'll need to be on the hunt for something good to pair with Ferrofluid. I mean, it would also look great on silver, of course, and raw, but I'll need to give that some thought. What else? What else came in? I mean, new audio equipment, of course, which is exciting. I'm excited to play around with this more. Got some new switches in. Got some new HMX Johns, some Hydras, and some Cthulhus, which we're going to use today. Excited about those. Got in the plate that we're going to be replacing. Did you pick up Chocolatier round 2? I did not end up picking up Chocolatier. I couldn't justify the price to myself when I already... Brown is a tough one for me. I'll be honest. I like Chocolatier. And it's great that it came back. But trying to find things, I don't have a lot of boards that go super great with brown, and I already have Deep Field has some brown notes in it. Brown note. If you know about music theory, that's funny. And I also have Clodney. They sold 620 units on Novel Keys. That's great. It'd be great if they can hit with all the other vendors, if they can hit that 1000 MOQ breakpoint for whatever it was that got to be included. But I've been finding it harder to justify GMK prices to myself, I'll be honest. Having said that, we're going to be building with 3 different GMK sets today. But I'm curious about the Cthulhu. People seem to like them. Yeah, that's why I got it too. I've heard really good things about it. And honestly, I could use another purple-ish switch because my Prevail Nebulas aren't... Or I'm giving away the Prevail Nebulas because I never use them. And so if I wanted something purple-themed, like translucent purple, I think it would go really well. Tempted for a bit, but no F13 in base made the decision for me. Oh, really? I didn't know that. The board it would go on is F13. Interesting. Yeah, with because like Chocolatier. Actually, let me peek at it again while we're all here together. Although it ended yesterday, didn't it? I guess the base kit didn't include numbed, yeah. Yeah, this would have probably gone on my Class 413 if I had gone for it. As much as I love the yellow accents, but like that's not enough for me to go in on it, you know? So, yeah, I let this one slide by. Just because I don't think I would honestly use it enough to warrant the price tag, sadly. But, you know. I'm thinking a taupe gray Neo 80 CU. Oh yeah, that would look nice. Speaking of Neo boards, we're rebuilding one today. Oh, I did also get this as well. So depending if we have time at the end, we might do a little clown build, or I might do it like over lunch tomorrow or something. Because did get in DCS Clown, which was sold on April 1st. But it was not a joke. It is real. And it's essentially a 60s only kind of setup. So it unfortunately will not work on my red Neo 65 Cursed. Cursed or so cursed it's blessed. So I might throw it on to like my January or something like that. Because polycarbonate goes with everything, right? So we'll consider that. But today... we are going to try something that I had in mind for a while when I picked this up a while back. A nice silver Neo Ergo. And for a long time, actually part of the reason why I got this one in the configuration I did with, you know, some gold weight and the gold kernel on the back, was my Mars Cadet board for a long time. So I had like the solar panel extension kit over here, and the gold in that went really well with the gold accents elsewhere. But now, Mars Cadet is living on the Pangea Mini that we built in our last full keyboard stream a few weeks ago. So... I think what I'm going to do is my plan... This was actually my plan when Mecha Kaiju first came out, was I thought it would be fun to do like a half mecha, half normal. Kind of like... Ooh, there's some schmutz there. Essentially like some kind of robotic kaiju that is... appears biological and then has had like half of the flesh stripped away and it's a robot underneath, kind of a vibe. But now we also have Dark Kaiju. So I'm wondering if there's a classy way to combine the three. I don't know. But we have Dark, we have Normal, we have Mecha all available to us. So I want to do some kind of split something. So we're going to figure that out. And I also want to rebuild it with Cthulhu's and the aluminum plate. So that is the plan. As far as other streaming plans go coming up, hopefully we'll be able to be building a Mantis soon, since Mantas are going to be going out. Hopefully before too long. I would love to be able to build it for our May 5th stream, because I want to do an X-Wing build. Since I got the Machinist colorway, and it's going to, I mean, it won't be patinaed right away, but it will patina and wear and all that fun stuff. And I really want to throw SA X-Wing on it. I think that will work out really nice. Maybe some like GAT type Rs, since I heard some in that recent build that Alex did. I think it was a client Manta build. He used some, there was a CF plate though, I think. But anyway, he used some GAT Rs and it sounded quite nice. And I think it would go well with the whole Rebel Alliance X-Wing vibe. I chose the best one. Thank you. I agree. It was a tough choice, but I think that was the right call for me. So yeah, that'll be very fun. So hopefully maybe we can do that on May 5th for right after Star Wars Day. Shark! Are you still traveling, Shark? Thank you for being here. I've yet to hear a board where GAT-Rs on carbon fiber sound bad. Yeah, that's true. I can't say that I have. I should actually look. I didn't get carbon fiber plate for the Manta, but I think I got... I look at my list here. Boards. Manta. I think I might have gotten aluminum and polycarbonate. Oh no, I got aluminum and PEI. That's right. I am. Well, how's your trip going? Hope you're having a wonderful time. I am sad that my vacation is over. And it is now back into it. Sadly ends this Friday. Oh yeah. Yep, I'm jumping back into building out another Kickstarter, which is always an interesting experience. It's been great. Weather's been nice. That's very good. Yeah, my weather was also very decent for when I was in Arkansas. And then when I was in Florida, it was very nice. I mean, it's Florida still, but it wasn't too humid. We got into like the mid 80s in the hottest part of the day. So it was not too bad at all to be walking around the parks. And the hottest days, we were actually inside the most, which worked out. So always nice when that works. Hope you had fun. I did have a lot of fun. Honestly, it was the most fun watching my kid absorb the experience. That was, and interacting with, because we went to Disney World, in case that wasn't obvious, but interacting with the cast members and stuff, and like interfacing with real people who care about what they're doing was super refreshing in a way. Anyway, Reggie, what's up? Welcome. Welcome, sir. I'm just talking about traveling. I just got back. Shark is about to be done with vacation. Not too many other big trips planned this year. Disney World was kind of our big one. We will all be going to Chicago in June for KeyCon. I mean, I'll be going to KeyCon, returning it into a family trip. But beyond that, we have not planned a whole ton for the rest of the year. So we kind of shot our wad early on Disney. Coming to Morgantown, I'm not. It's near your birthday though, right, Reggie? Whose birthday is it near? Somebody's. Because I said it was my daughter's birthday, and I thought it was you who said that it was also your birthday. Right around then. This year, end of August. Yeah, August 30th. That is my daughter's birthday too. So I will not be traveling. Sadly. Happy belated birthday, baby Jaronis. See, now the bot is firing for Mango because it's actually turned on. Immense Gorp Envy. Gorp is so nice. I am excited. I want to get this onto a green or a blue board in the future. And then I'll probably put Analog Dreams back on here. Because I like that match so much. But depending on how Creative does with the new Juno prototypes, maybe Juno will be the one. Because the price is also dropping for the Juno, which is incredible. All right, let's actually do something. Tip this back here a little bit. And we will disassemble our previous build here. We got some HMX cheeses. These are the V1s. Picked up a Beak 65 off Mech Market. Finally got that build buttoned up. I don't know that I know the Beak 65. Oh, Beak 6.5. I'm sorry. Oh, that's right. The one with the big point and the knob. I didn't remember the name, but I do remember that board. I had considered getting one of those because there was... Which color was it? Was there a red one? I don't remember. What'd you put on it, Reggie? I'm curious. That's a very eye-catching board. And that was the big knob you showed me, right? This is completely above board. Mutagen. Very, very cool. Yeah, I could see that fitting really well. Send knob pics. No, I know. That's what I'm referencing. It's a joke. We talked about it in my DMs. All right. Oh, let's see. So this is built currently. Man, it's dusty. With all foams and polycarbonate plate. I think these are the Neo stabs that came with it originally. Twitch does not love the word knob. Yes. I actually turned a second knob out of teak too. Ooh, very pretty. I do love teak wood. So, and I'll try to remember to do this. We can actually finally take the protective film off the weight that has been on here for years. I just haven't done it. But we can actually do it on stream. I often forget to do that. Don't do it! Why not, Mal? I'm not planning on like selling this board or anything, so it's not gonna like lower the value. Or are you just saying don't do it? Until it bubbles, I never take the plastic off? Oh, I mean, this is bubbled. It came like with a bunch of bubbles in it. It's not pristine by any means. Sorry I could only hop in for a sec. Just finished work. I've had no screen time for a second. Enjoy this. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Enjoy looking at the real world. We could get really nuts with this and make them even more split by changing just the plate on one side. The plate and the switches on one side could be totally different. That seems a bit extreme. I don't know that I want to do that. I think I'll just stick with caps. I've had my car 6 years and the screen still has protective plastic on. Well, I mean, if it's not like, yeah, like if you said, if it's not like bubbling and distracting you or something, then I get it. I do get it. There was a long time when I first got my work laptop, my work MacBook, like they come shipped with like this tiny little sheet of film, some kind of really thin fabricy paper between the keyboard and the screen. And I kept that for like 2 years and would put it back in anytime I closed the laptop. And eventually one day it ripped and stopped being work. But like, I get it. I do understand that urge to keep things as pristine as possible for as long as possible. All right, let's take out the diffusers. I just realized I didn't actually publicize that I was streaming anywhere else on any other Discords. That's okay. We are getting back in the saddle after a couple weeks, so don't need to make a big deal out of it. Reloaded, happy birthday. I'm going to keep doing that joke until you just tell me to stop, just so you're aware. Thank you for the welcome back. I'm going to need something a little more upbeat. How was your Disney trip if I did go? I did go. It was very good. We had... It was about... Well, we did 4 days in the parks. 1 day per park, which was really nice. So arrived the day before that and left the day after. And honestly, all the travel and everything went very smoothly except for some delays getting home, which meant we had to scramble a little bit for a flight, but it all worked out. Weather was good. My partner planned everything very smoothly as far as what to try to tackle. She handled all of the lightning lane reservations when we did that and all that kind of stuff. Like she's a logistics genie in a lot of ways, so it worked out very well. Did we stay on Disney property? We did. Yeah, I mean, we're not there anymore, so I don't mind telling you we did. We stayed at the Riviera, which is an entirely, like a European-themed hotel, which was very nice. Apparently, some people online slam it for not being Disney enough. Like, you're not being assaulted in your face with, like, characters and art and all this stuff all the time. We didn't want that. We're getting enough of that in the parks. So we went with what was rated as some of the best food and the quietest. Because, like, we're only going there to sleep. You know? I don't need to feel like I'm in the park when I'm trying to go to bed. Polynesian is probably your favorite. We thought about going to the Polynesian to get some Dole Whip, but we ended up not. But the Polynesian does look cool. Yeah, you sleep, wake up, go to the parks. Yeah, for sure. And it's nice because, let me see. I think I will do without the mid foam here. Although I don't know how that'll work because there's not a place to put that little diffusey guy. Let me actually start some new music before I keep talking. Well, I'm gonna start just yapping. Let's do this. Because it's considered a deluxe resort, you also get like special late hours in the park, which is also really cool. Or at least some of the parks that have late hours, like Magic Kingdom. So like after the big fireworks show at the end of the day and everything, you can stay longer until like midnight or something. Oh, whoa. Anyway, this was, I mean, I don't think you were here when I mentioned this, but this was my first time at a Disney park in 30 years. So it was definitely a lot of planning and learning experience from when I was there in 1996. Okay. So we are doing aluminum. Def, a lot has changed. Yeah, for sure. Like, for example, when I was there, they had started building Animal Kingdom. So there were only 3 parks to go to. So that was a big change. I'd say I'm about 15 minutes away from the parks, which has a nice perk. Oh yeah, I remember you mentioning that. Yeah, we just didn't have any spare time for anything, or I would have tried to hit you up like you mentioned. But it was jam-packed. It does get tiring if you go a lot, I can imagine. I mean, I know some folks who live near there and have the annual passes, you know, and are there a lot. And but I imagine if you have that luxury, then you're also not trying to like maximize your time as much. Like you can like pop in for part of a day or something, and you're not like, we have to get as much out of this as possible, right? Quick pull, split backspace or no split backspace on a 65. I have not done a split backspace on a 65 that I'm aware of. I say this, and now I'm doubting myself. Nope, I'm a liar. I did that on my Neo 65 the last time I built it. But that was more because I've been using 60s a lot and the muscle memory remained, and I wanted to keep that. Split backspace on the Kahaku. I'm trying to like it, but I can't. What don't you like about it, Nana? For me, it might depend on the aesthetics of the board and the keycap set I'm choosing about whether I would do split or not. It might depend. It might be an it depends situation. Muscle memory shot. You got a Kahaku shark. Fancy. Any special version? Shark got fish. Keep getting the wrong backspace location. Yeah, I mean that happens to me regardless. Like when I'm switching, like when I switched back to, or like when I was using the Pangea Mini for a while, and then I went back to using the F1. Like it just takes a few minutes of like, oh yeah, that's right, that's where it is. But I could see it taking longer depending. A lot of times, I really do love split backspace at its core, and so I may start exploring it more in other things that offer it, but we shall see. What am I doing? I just keep moving the same pieces around. In TKL, I use full backspace for aesthetics, but map pipe to backspace. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Okay, wealthy. Win keyless with a split backspace. Can't get down with the win keyless. I want to try. I want to try. But I have not yet. There's part of me that had wanted to get the round 2 of the Zoku. But I don't know that I can because I think it's... oh wait, that's the wrong one. I think it's win keyless only. Alright, so we got to put these diffusers in. The Kahaku Orsita Green. Very nice. Let's see if these diffusers will actually stay in when there isn't foam propping them up. Ooh, nice. I feel some sort of obligation to go with the split since it's a Haku. Not a fan of the Type R's on it. Yeah, I can see those. I've only used mine a couple of times, but I can see them being somewhat conditional. They're not like a silver bullet by any means. Oh, wait. Dang it, I missed one of the diffusers. Better I realize that now than when I put them all in. This one. Yeah, that one goes upside down. Little wonky. What? You went to, what is it, Korea and Japan, Shark? I feel like everybody's doing that at the same time. 2 of my good friends actually just got back from separate trips in Japan like 2 days ago. It's like something in the air. Everyone wanted to head to Japan. Yeah, one lives in Vancouver and one lives in Memphis, Tennessee, and they were both there at the same time. Gotta get ready and go get coffee. Glad I could stop by and say hi. Yes! Thank you so much for stopping. Enjoy your coffee. And have a good rest of your trip. Safe travels. Have a good stream. Thank you. I will endeavor to. So excited for next year. I get to go to Germany, my first... Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a long time to go without a vacation. Where are you heading to in Germany, if you don't mind divulging? I've not gotten to go to Germany yet, and I would love to. I want to see more of Europe. I've only been... When I say only, I've been able to go to the UK, which I guess technically isn't Europe anymore. And I've gotten to go to France and the Netherlands. Me, a German. Just kidding, Germany has some pretty nice spots. Whenever somebody says they want to come here. I like German beer. And I like German food. That would be some of the big draws for me. And I also like when Novel Keys has co-hosted the keyboard meetup abroad, I've wanted to go to like visit GMK and stuff. I thought that would be fun. I don't drink beer myself, but the culture. Got it. Culture sure is nice. I'd also just like being in Europe better than being in America. If I'm being 100% on the level. If you saw the city I live in, you'd understand why everywhere is better. There we go. I like that purple a lot. Okay. So this one I need to make sure this little buddy sits in here. I guess it could also nest up into the top case for a second, but although does it flush? I think maybe it goes flush against that side, and this side goes down, and that might help capture any light bleed. I do think spending a few days in different European cities can be fun. Everything's so close. Yeah. I mean, that's what was really nice when my family and I visited Europe last spring, so spring of 2025, because we went to, we flew into Amsterdam and stayed in the Netherlands for about a week, and then took the Eurostar to Paris, and we're there for like 4 or 5 days. And it was so nice. So nice, so fast. Especially I mean, I wrote about this on my blog as well. But especially comparing it to, like, I guess I could put the diffuser in after. comparing Eurostar to Amtrak, which we had taken to New York like a few months prior. And I know they're very different train systems doing different jobs, but the differences are just night and day in quality. It was wild. And I don't even, let me actually look. I'm trying to remember what the, Hey, here's my website, by the way. Here we go. Yeah, even the distance difference. Granted, it was a shorter distance, but just like I was comparing some stuff and how it was different, and a little bit on like how Amtrak actually functions in relation to freight companies and stuff, and woof. Interesting things to dive into. My best friend is planning the trip, so I'm not sure the cities yet, but doing tours of all the German car plants is a goal. And Nürburgring and seeing some of the Alps in Austria, just scenery. Yeah. Sounds nice. Yeah, I don't know when I'll be able to get to Europe again, but sometime. No plans currently. No international travel planned at all right now, actually. But we'll see. Unless you count Canada, but that's easier to get to because I live in Michigan. Which it is technically international, but I don't know. As I grew up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, which is even closer than where I live now. And so it was like, going over to Canada for stuff was like, no, but not an event at all. It was very commonplace. Never been outside North America, so it'll be fun. Very cool. I'm excited for you. How do you like the Neo Ergo? I like it a lot. This is I've had it for a bit. Let me actually look to see if I know exactly how long I've had this. Neo Ergo. There it is. I've had this since almost 2 years. It was July of 2024 when I got this. And it was not as jarring for me to get used to as I thought as far as like Alice style stuff goes. And I think some of that helped was the tented nature of it helps with the weirdo ergonomics a little bit. Let's see, which of these did I use before? I'm trying to find, there we go. Which holes are in the foam. It's also just so easy to mod with the pogo pins and the ball catch top. That has been fun to rebuild multiple times. Go ahead and pop that in. Neo boards are still what I often recommend to people who want to build their own as a starter a lot of times. Yeah, Neo Ergo's been on my list for a bit, and the Owl Lab springs. Owl Lab springs are still pretty pricey these days. Yeah, springs and spring prices are a little bit of a black box to me just because I don't mod switches, so I don't really pay attention to what is considered a pricey spring. Like, what do the Owl Labs run for? $350, $400. Huh? For how many? Am I thinking of something else? Or are these switch springs, or is this something else? Oh, it's an Alice. Gotcha. I thought you were talking about switch springs, and I was like, holy shit. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. Okay. I'll toss these back in for now. Don't know that we'll need them, but they're easy enough to take out. But I can see like indentations on the edges already. Granted, this is a harder plate, so we'll see. Might not be as much. What are your thoughts on the DynaWorks 7 so far? I know you've had it for a bit. I like it. I don't know that I love it. Evan did a really good job building it. But this was a concern I had when I first looked at it, and ever since kind of looking at it too, and other things that the DynaWorks has made, because I also have the hub. The finish is just not that good of a quality. Which I know, even by the nature of being finish, is superficial. But that's a lot of what goes into it. You know, the looks of it. There's a graininess to the finishes that I don't love. So I don't know who his manufacturer is or whatever, but it just does, there's something about it that looks kind of cheap to me. I mean, I do like the way it sounds though. Let me grab it. And I could always rebuild it if I wanted to try out something else. Yes. I don't think finished stuff is going to show up at all on camera necessarily, but like it does look, the colors and stuff look really good. But just, yeah, this, I guess the color Anna was a little bit better. But like these pieces, and maybe it's somewhat intentional, but this is like has a real graininess to it that I don't love a ton. And there were like some machining marks and stuff that were like, that they did help me with. The initial weight was a little bit scuffed up, and they did actually replace it for me. But the hub had some even other marks that I didn't notice until later. That it was just like the machining quality is not the best, in my opinion. But I do enjoy typing on it. So I'll have to say I do like it. I think it's overpriced for what it is. Even with like, you know, the little machining touches and extra pieces and stuff. I think it was overpriced for what it is. You weren't very impressed with the finishing quality? Yeah, I think there's probably a hit or miss quality with it. I think I lucked out in that I only had one issue that did get replaced. And I do like it. I'm not planning on selling it or anything. But I don't think I'll be joining other DM projects in the future just because of the price to quality ratio. Yeah. And even like you can see a little bit of case flex down here even. Like, can you see this where you can compress that? Like, it's little things like that. It's like, this is way too expensive for the build quality. of what this is. Yeah, and like the whole bottom of this actually can move, which is like you can compress the case and it will flex. So, you know, it's little bits like that that don't give me confidence in supporting other DN projects. Yeah. So, and it's also like a pain in the ass to build. Having watched multiple streams of people trying to build the 7. And I know that not all of DN's projects are double O-ring, but it's not the O-ring that's causing that. I don't know. I'm not going to take it apart and risk it. Because I don't want to deal with that. So I'm going to leave it as is. I do enjoy typing on it, and I like how it sounds. But the hassle of building it and the build quality and the finishes and all that, I think it's overpriced. So it's a mixed bag. Now that it's built, I was happy to pay Evan to build it. And he did a fantastic job with it. I'm not going to touch it. So we'll see if my estimation of it drops if I ever need to open it up and get in there and do something with it myself. I do have a spare PCB and stuff just in case. But yeah, you ended up getting the Cappy. Yeah, and like bowl stuff, I have a higher estimation of. Some of that has to do with how Bowl interacts with the community versus how Darien interacts with the community a little bit. And being more responsive and like, I don't know, collaborative, interested in what people have to say, maybe a little less high and mighty. That's more of just a vibe. And take that with a grain of salt because Darien was very helpful for me when I needed to get that weight replaced. So, you know, people's is people's. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Let's do some keycaps. This is going to end up being a short build, so we may end up needing to do some clown action. Unless I totally hate how this ends up sounding with the with our various Kaiju caps. So, we have a veritable plethora of options here for our split personality Kaiju build. We've got Mecha Kaiju. We've got normal Kaiju. We've got dark Kaiju. Still shrink wrapped. So we could also do a little gamba if anybody's interested. And I've been taking good care of it. I haven't been shaking it or anything like that. But I definitely want to do Mecha on part of this. And then the question is, do I want to do normal? Or do I want to do dark? Or maybe it's normal and like dark on the column over here or something like that. But I think we could safely say Mecha on half of this. You'd say normal? 3 sets of Kaiju, I came to the right stream. I feel like I'm like fanning out playing cards with these. Welcome, Monster Dude. Thank you for being here. Appropriate name for today's stream, because we both have Cthulhu switches and Kaiju keycaps going on today. So you think normal? Reloaded? We got time. We could mix it up. So maybe let's do like a normal and a mecha. Everything on everything. And then throw dark onto something. Ooh, maybe we throw dark onto the Pangea. But that mecha, though, would kind of match more. Yeah. The unopened one so we can gamba. I mean, we can go ahead and open that and take a look at it for sure. All right, so before we get into it, I will define see what my definition of screwed up keycaps is. So I'm thinking, like if it's generally in the right place and it's just like tilt, like if things have kind of crumpled up a bit, I think that's okay. I'm talking about full rotations, migrations, translocations, all that kind of good stuff. Do you have a spreadsheet of your keycaps and boards? I do. It is not public currently. I have it in Obsidian, but I am planning on publishing it. So you would be able to get to it through a command in Discord or in Twitch at any time. Speaking of which, I'll throw this back in here just in case anyone's interested. That is the Discord if you want to chat in there at all or get pings and stuff when streamies happen. I've also been collecting interest checks and group buys of things that have interested me and throwing those into like a gallery channel and stuff. So to kind of keep tabs on a lot of that stuff. And that's easy because then I can forward info from other servers into those channels when there's new information and all that kind of stuff, which has been handy. But let's take a peek. Let me get a prediction up here. Prediction. Start a prediction. It's the same one. So yeah, I would say that was my definition of stuff that's messed up. So here's a prediction. It'll run for a couple of minutes. There you go. The Pangea. I'm a big fan of the Pangea. Maybe we can throw some dark kaiju onto it at the end. Although this is a much more saturated orange than the orange that's on Pangea, but big fan of any bowl board, honestly. Me too. I'm really interested to see how the Boltle ship pans out, because it honestly doesn't sound that expensive for what it is based on some of the latest stuff that Bowl talked about. That's just such a fun layout. Especially because like Shark, who was in here earlier, is working on the DCS Grass Valley keycaps and actually will be vendored by Bowl, and it talked about making some kitting modifications so that it would work really well on the Boltle ship and all that kind of stuff too. So, Oblique. Who was it? Was it Manu who was showing off Oblique round 2 colors or something that looked really good? I don't remember. I've only caught like snatches of streams over the last 2 weeks while I've been traveling, so I can't remember who all showed what and when. Yeah, the Pangea and the Manta are the only bowl boards I've gone in on so far. Manta's not here yet, so really my only experience is with the Pangea and a Pangea prototype that a friend of mine has here locally that he bought from Bowl. So I've tried that, but otherwise the Pangea was my first actual like real typing experience with one. I have almost 75 boards. I still feel like I want another 300. The rabbit hole is real. One of these days I'll def send out my Cappy 60 if you ever want to give it a try. Ooh. I'm always game for trying boards. That's been a fun, I've mentioned this before on the stream, but that's been a fun thing for me to do locally, is to become kind of like a keyboard library for people to like check things out and test them, which has been really fun. Like people at my co-working space and stuff. Okay, prediction. Time is up. Let's open it up and find out the damage. Let me just slice right here. I'll be very gentle so as not to influence the outcome here. Smooth. Same here. I lent out my TGR to a coworker to get them in the hobby. Now I was obsessed with it. Very nice. Yeah, I've hosted a couple small events in my co-working space as well, which has helped. Which was basically just like having all my boards out with like info cards, so that people could like understand like what all the terms mean and what they might be interested in. Here, let me turn up this light brightness now that the sun's going down, and that's been really nice as well. Whoop. It's okay. We're all good. Okay. Got our lovely round 3 card. The hologram. Zing, 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 zing. I do like that they're doing these cards now. I think that's nice. All right, here we go. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let me snooze this ad break. All right, what do we got? Round 1, looking good. Or row 1. Good. Still good. Still good. Ooh. Pretty good. Let's see how tray 2 is. Okay. Good. Good. A little jostling, but nothing's out of place. Oh, now I said shifting to the side was okay. And it is. Nothing's overlapping. Nothing has like turned 90 degrees or anything like that. A little rumple there. Good, 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 good. Oh, I don't know if this is legit GMK. Everything's in order. That is super clean. All right. So, choose an outcome. The keycaps were not fucked. There you go. The result is no! Thank you all for joining. But now for real, let's look at these keycaps. How nice. With that brand new GMK powder. I got the novelties as well. So I have those. Right here. I actually have kept all of my novelties for all my Kaiju sets all together. So I've got the Mecha ones in here, the black ones in here, and the normal ones in here. So we got lots to play with. But I think for the Ergo, we will forego Kaiju Dark for now. And do... Fetty, what's up? Welcome. We're just appreciating some Kaiju right now. So I think what I'll do is normal over here maybe. And then Mecha on this side, potentially. How do we feel about that? So the idea is that the coating of the Kaiju has been kind of torn away and showing its metal skeleton underneath. Zoom back out. Whee! Whoop, too far. There we go. Okay. So, I remember how I want to do this. So I think when I built this before, I kept escape here, and then this was like macros and stuff, because I could put escape over here. But I think maybe we'll do eyes here and here. And then we'll start with numbers. Got some of that marbliness that I like. Kaiju Dark, such a nice set with the Ergo. Thanks. And we'll see if we do Dark. We may switch it out. Okay, don't need those. I'll have to recalibrate my thought patterns here. Need to get more of these style boards. Only one I have is the laminar boomerang. Hard to get used to. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I also have which I've rebuilt on the stream before, a 40% Alice, which is really hard to get used to when you were not accustomed to either of those layouts. Which was real rough when I got that one. Oh, this is... needs stepped. The Alu Bolt from Lazy Designers. And that's real rough. Because you're like, weird layout, tilting your hands, and there's no numbers. My favorite build was by Gion, who used the light alphas and combined with dark mods. Ooh. I could see that being fun too. I am planning on doing something like that when Power 2048 comes in and combining it with the dark mods from 2048 Dark. So we'll have the dark, like the 2 tones of gray, which I think will look cool. And then with some of the color accents. For sure, I tried the Wind Studios Ola 40%. Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. I want to get back into some more 40s at some point. I actually mentioned this 2 weeks ago when I was streaming, before my trip, of wanting to do more 40s for my birthday next year, because I'm turning 40, and to make it the year of 40s and try to do, like, try to make a 40s my, like, build some and try to make it like my daily driver or something for a year and see how far I can make it. But we'll see if that's even possible. I think, did those diffusers sink down, or are they always that low? I guess they are that low. Just having to use this board in a minute. Let's see. And then maybe we can do some novelties down here. I can throw this on at least. Whoops, what is happening here? Got jammed up. What the? I don't think we're sitting down all the way. Hold on. Hold, please. The emotional journey I went on in the last 20 minutes. What's up? Oh, there we go. I guess it was just gripping so hard it was like crooked enough it was not returning, but it's fine now. I was rebuilding my brand new rubber Haku. I thought I lost a little... Ooh, that would suck. But I'm guessing you didn't. After searching everywhere, I found it in the night stab box. Woo, that is a journey. I'm glad you found it. Oh, there we go. The stab wasn't seated all the way. The tiny little hook had popped out. That explains it. Hold on. Let me see if I can get that fully reseated. There we go. I think we're good now. So yeah, these are... There we go. Woo, clip-ins. Not as used to clip-ins. I was using the PC blocker until now, so I was in full panic mode. Ooh. Cool. Yeah, I thought something seemed a little bit off. And now we know. I like that little bit of extra volume from the less foam inside and the aluminum plate. So let me remind myself what novelties we do have at our disposal here. So I know we've got like the exclamation, The enter keys, of course. Ooh. Man, the black and the orange looks real so good. Kaiju's growing on me. Kaiju is a fantastic set. Oh yeah, I did get the macros in normal Kaiju. I don't think I got them in dark. I'm just now realizing that. But also got... Ooh. There's the dark Kaiju eye. Which I love. So that's like double shot eye and then UV printed. The white part is UV printed on top, which is very cool. Little Kaiju symbol. Thank you for the follow, Nokatako. Oh, speaking of follows, I meant to mention we're very close to 200. Let me play another song here. And so when we do hit 200, probably, hopefully, maybe by next stream, I want to do some giveaways. We could do orange. There's also, why don't I get these orange space bars out of here? Man, these look so fun. Look at all these together. Some of these different enters. So this is from, both of these are from Mecha. They're like the reverse of each other. This one from Dark. That one's the reverse from Dark. That's so good. Anyway, so I want to do like a 200 follower giveaway. And I don't know exactly what we'll give away. I have some switches that I would love to give away. Let's see, let's do that. Or maybe a keyboard. Don't know yet. I'm deciding what I want to still try to sell and what I want to give away. Six. So many options. It's another row one. Oh yeah, I do have that little guy too. So could do, oh yeah, there's these. There's the dots as well, just the dots. There's too many good choices when you have 3 versions of the same base kit. Because this is too big for this spot. Oh no, it isn't. So like, could do a fun thing like that. Or make it all exclamation points on the bottom. Actually, is there a 1U version of the... There's gotta be. Oh yeah, there's one right there. So there must be one in the green as well. Could do like full exclamation mark rows. There's some Mecha ones. I'll go ahead and save those out. There's the dark ones. You'll just get to watch me sort. Well, there's one of the eyes, but it's the wrong side. Let me just get all the greens out at once, and then I can actually tell what I'm doing. That's row 1. So some of these I will want for the... So there's M2, M4. Although this needs to be row 1. That's row 2. M7, M5, M4. There's an M1. Do this for the macro column. Chris! Chris is here. Oh, there's the eye. There it is. So there's eye for that side. Welcome, Chris. How are you doing? My vacation was really good. I'm very happy about how it went. 2, 3, and I need M4. And there's an M3 in row 3. Perfect. Doing well? Very good. Glad to hear it. More. Those are both dark. Dark, dark, dark. There's got to be another. Oh, that's the Mecha eye. Haha! Look at that. Actually, I'll hold it down here and zoom in. Perfect. So we'll have our little split kaiju action here. Way over here. Ideally. More exclamations. So many exclamations. Dark. Dark. So I know that there's... So I got those, Is there a reverse? Oh, this is for this set. Okay. Things are coming together. It's a lot of exclamation marks. Oh, interesting. Did dark come with 2 this size? I guess OG came with that, so that's slightly different. I don't know that Mecha offered that many mods of the same size. I don't think they did. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Ah, there's another one of those, which I don't think I need. All right, let's see what we can do with some of this. Let me set this right there, easily accessible. So on this side, at least, we won't need as many because we've only really got one mod right there. We will need like a function type of thing, or I mean, shift. Arrows, shift, return, backspace. So over here, that's a 1U. So we could do something like this and really dig into the exclamation points, which I kind of like. I still got a decent amount of flex with the aluminum plate, which does make sense. All right, let's set those up there. Hello, thanks for the follow, Plastic Bits. I appreciate it. We might be really close to... We're at 199. 199 followers. My goodness. One more, and then we'll do a little celebration next stream. A little giveaway time. So that's pretty well sorted, I think, on this side. I don't think there's anything else I'll need. Let's put this down here. Dark is over there. Here's Mecha. Mecha. Of course, now when I say that, all I can think of is... Did any of you ever play Dispatch this last year? I just think of Mecha Man. We make the man Mecha again. Okay, we got our eyeball. We will need our... Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Our split backspace. And we'll start with a Y over here. Oh wait, what am I doing? I need numbers. What am I doing? All that talk about 40s, I started thinking I was building one. Speaking of 40s, are there any, if you're still here, Chris, are there any 40s you're keeping your eye on? I'm looking to invest in more 40s. At least by my birthday in February. To our... Have been looking for consuming keyboard content recently. Oh, that's fair. Let's see, GH. And I think we'll use... We'll need to use one of these two, so either the silver with orange or the orange with silver. Let me, because that also depend on what we do with the arrows will influence this. So I'll need to think about that. All right, extra B, because it's an Alice. All right, we will need an itty bitty shift. Ah! Glad we didn't gamble on this one. Me knocking it around. There it is. So we do have the normal metallic arrows, but I'm trying to think if there were... Yes, there are orange. Orange with metallic legend arrows as well. Ooh, good to have that. Heard Jackie is releasing Cat Dimple, but that's not my vibe. Oh, I think... Well, I'd seen some old mock-up. Is that one that's actually kind of cat-shaped? Because if so, that is also not my vibe. I think it's cute and all, but it's like not something that I need. That is a normal one. Yeah, okay. I thought so. I get the appeal. It's not my aesthetic. There it is. Okay, so we could do orange and metallic arrows here. In which case, these would kind of end up blending together a little bit in this shape, which you could do. I don't know. Can do this at least. This is just... Is that just a 1U that goes over here? I guess so. And then is it this spacebar? Yes. Hopefully no stabs popped out on this one. Nice. good. Especially once we change the LEDs inside to orange. I think that'll be really nice. What do we think? Everything orange? Or one of these orange and the other not? I think I would do what Nerve Wrecker does near the enter backspace area. What does Nerve Wrecker do, pray tell? I'd have to look at a picture. Look at the base kits. That's what I will do. That the arrows are colored? Is that what you mean? Or the arrows are a more vibrant accent? Granted, this is like in a TKL layout. Because you could use the bright enter. I meant how there's 2 purple keys near the enter. Oh, sure. That's not going to work with Mecha, though. Unless you mean of like putting a swath of dark through there. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's an interesting idea. If we put like a weird little swath of dark, they kind of float up through there like Nerve Wrecker does. That could be kind of cool. Okay, I see what I'm picking up what you're laying down, Nana. That's interesting. Very interesting. So in that case, if there were a swath of dark going through there, then I might stick with this, but do this. And then maybe what we do is we replace these, and these with a band of dark. Let's try it. We've got time. Good idea. Thank you for bringing that up and for explaining to me, because I was pretty dense about what you were suggesting. Huh? Let's put these back in here. And then it's brackets, and then plus and minus. Okay. Let me put this in its correct sleeve so I'm not totally mixed up on what is what. Just put this back in its sleeve. So we need this, right? Oh no, that's not quite right. This one, slightly longer. And then we can use There we go. Something like that. It almost feels like it's like oil leaking out of the robot part. Or it's like oozing fluid of some kind out of the mecha side. That's kind of cool. Let's mess with the LEDs a little bit. Let's see. Let me chuck some of this in here. What was my other idea? Oh, for the area over here? Like I was, or just in general, I was thinking about doing either mecha and dark, but I kind of like having a little combination of all three. So let's see. Set the F1 aside briefly. Oh, there's another. So the lights are still set for when I had a different set on here. So let's see. Let's get Via up in the mix here. Make my giant browser window smaller here so I can actually see what I'm doing. Let me turn off one of my lights. See if we can actually get a nice saturated orange here. Not too red. Although on camera it's definitely going to look a bit different. So we got solid color, brightness is all the way up. Oop. Hit some windows there for a sec. So that now we can have kind of, it's not super bright, but some of that kind of an effect. Oh, I just need to leave it plugged in so you can actually see. But, you know, some of that split with the orange light coming through. I feel like I used to think it was brighter. Maybe it's just the orange. Seems a little dim to me. Let me see. Lighting. It is set all the way up. But it could just be orange. Hard to tell. That is fun. Yeah, I'll need to keep that in mind for doing some... Here, let me take this off and get a little... Yeah, exactly. It kind of splits off a little bit. Let me hide these. Oh, no, not this. Not this. And then I can get a picture or use a still of this for a thumbnail later. Let me zoom in slightly. There we go. Do a little bit with light on this side, and then maybe let's switch it up and see how that looks. So I'm doing a little bit of that. Cable's a little wobbly. Nice. That'll be fun. Cool. Yeah, I do like that touch. I think that was a really good idea, Nana. And now I have 3 base kits in use, so I can't use any of them on another board right now. Although I could always do a reverse situation on another board if I really wanted to. But let's see how this sounds with some of these other components in place. Your board has 3 base kits? Nice. Yeah, the closest I've gotten to this before was my Duo 60, where I have 2048 light and dark on it. So I'm doing the light alphas and dark mods with the color accents. Okay, wealthy. So, Silver Neo Ergo. It's a little bit of a flaw right there, but I caused that. I'm using PE foam and case foam, no plate foam. Switched over to the aluminum plate. We're trying out HMX Cthulhu switches, which are linears. Let me look at the stats for those, just so I understand them fully. Cthulhu's, there they are. So these are just stock. They're 56 gram springs, PC top, nylon bottom, and a palm stem. And then we're using 3 different versions of GMK Kaiju. We've got GMK Part Deux over here. We've got Mecha Kaiju and Dark Kaiju sprinkled over here on the side as the beast is being rent in twain, exposing its metallic skeleton underneath. So let's see how this sounds a little bit. I already paused the music, so that's good. Good for me, I did it. Let me... Oh, that's a little metallic. Don't love the way that sounds in the new plate. Might need to foam it up a little bit over there. Let me just open up my window here so I have something to type. Oop, gotta get used to this layout again. Holy cow. Let's see. Yeah, that one. I'm noticing hollowness in the extremities I didn't notice in the previous build. I don't mind it because I don't honestly use that a ton. I do like it too, Mal. But I might experiment a little bit with... Oops. What did I do? My camera? Nope, that's not right. Oh, I know what I did. I think I accidentally deleted the camera source. You know what? Do it live. This is what I get for unlocking my my sources earlier. Double me. There we go. Haha. Hey, listen, I've gotten this far with not screwing up that much. Thank you for the follow, RX3. But there we go. Yeah, what could be causing it? It could be a couple of things. I don't think it's the switch. It is probably due... my guess is it's due to taking out the plate foam. Oh, thanks for the cheer, Frederick. We did it! Yeah, like on some of my other scenes, like I have this stuff. I have the sources locked, and for some reason I had been like moving stuff around or editing stuff, and I'd forgotten to relock my sources. So that's on me. That's my bad. And now I'm full of burps. It could be, my guess is it's the lack of plate foam. Is adding some resonance up here. Just because I'm curious, how much foam is present in those areas normally? So we do get a little bit. I mean, there is a little bit of, there we go. There is some insulation against that, especially up in here with this little bit. Let me turn my lights on all the way again so you can actually see what I'm talking about. There is some insulation against resonance naturally here. So it could be a combination of the lack of foam as well as the aluminum plate is my thought. Because I was using PC before and I had never noticed that as an issue. So I may experiment with, I'm gonna just experiment with putting some foam back in, potentially see what that does. And if not, maybe swapping back to a different plate or something like that. That would be my guess as to why. I don't know if that comes across on the mic at all, but just the... It's not bad. There's just more resonance right there than anywhere else in the board, which, you know, I mean, there is a lot of space around it, so it does kind of make sense. But something I may look into addressing a little bit. But all in all, I think it's fun. It's a fun build. Yeah, the other thought that I had of maybe doing with Dark was throwing it onto the Pangea Mini. But again, like I said, like this is a much more saturated orange. For anyone who's curious to see that. Let me see if I can dig it out here. I think, where is Bowl? There's Bowl. Unlike some other cases, Bowl very nicely put his logo in a little badge on top of the bag, so it's easy to spot. But yeah, that was a thought too that we could potentially toss. Although these are the same orange, aren't they? Mars Cadet and Kaiju. So I thought about throwing Dark Kaiju on here as well and seeing how that would kind of play out with the silver. Honestly, it's not all that different than what we've got going on here. There's just more orange accents with the Pangea Mini. But sounds really good. And I've also rebuilt this since I streamed it initially. For anyone who was here before. Where I was initially using DCS on here. And I just didn't like the spacebar. Sounded... It was not a good DCS board in my mind with the spacebar. At least with the plate that I have in here right now. I have the aluminum plate. So I do want to eventually put DCS orange on beige on here, so I did pick up a couple extra plates for this to try out as well, and some extra PCBs. So we'll rebuild this again in the future at some point, maybe when DCS orange on beige comes in. But yeah, dark could look kind of cool on here. But for now, I also really like the way that Mars Cadet works, because I feel like the white mods help tone down the orange slightly, and then of course the gray and the silver go so well together that it kind of helps. It's not overwhelmingly with the saturated orange, and it plays nicely with the inner frame, I think. But enough about the Pangea. We're talking about the Neo. It is a good board. I'm very excited to get the Manta soon. So I think with that follow that came through while I was deleting video sources in OBS, I think we hit 200. So 200 followers, which is amazing. Not something I thought that we would ever get to. And it wasn't ever really a goal of mine either. Like, I just wanted to start streaming for fun. Like, I didn't really have a lot of major goals with this beyond just, like, having fun sharing the hobby and, you know, not building alone in my basement, you know. So if I'm going to be building boards, why not have some more fun with it? So it's very humbling that 200 people want to follow along. So with that, with 200 followers, next stream, we're going to need to do some giveaways. Well, of course. Thank you too, Chris, for always sharing your excellent taste, I will say. Your video work is impeccable. I'll say follow Keyrist on Instagram if you don't already. Her videos are chef's kiss. So I'll need to figure out what to give away. I have some switches. I've got some Prevail switches. I've got some Gateron switches I would love to give away. But I would like to give away a keyboard. And there are some options. So I will need to look through my options and figure out what that board should be. I have... I'm thinking it might be the Synth Labs 60. Honestly. That might be the one. It is a beautiful board. It is not one I've been able to get sounding the way I want. So I'm going to pass it on to someone who maybe can give it the love that it deserves to sound the way they desire. If you're not familiar with the Synth Labs 60, let me get rid of a couple windows here. Synth Labs 60. If it loads. Here, let me go to here and then here. It is this board, if you're familiar with this. It kind of has a lovely typing angle. It has this metal rail on the back. And the back of it has all these cool vertical vents, which makes it feel kind of like a sports car or something in some way. So mine is silver and aluminum, I want to say, like a polished PVD rail and fins in the back, and then the rest is just anodized silver. So I think that might be the board I want to give away. So fair warning for watching that, and if you are here next week and you want to enter, it does work just fine. I haven't gotten it to sound the way I want. It may be perfectly fine for what you want. And it may be difficult if it ever needs to be repaired in the future because it has proprietary daughterboard stuff going on, because it has this vertical USB port in the back, which also may limit what kind of cable you can use. So just things to bear in mind. It is a gorgeous looking board. It's just sounded a little thin to me. For a little extra context on what will come with it, let me look at my list. 60. Yeah, so silver, it's a gasket mounted board. It will come with a hot swap PCB. It also has a PC plate and a palm plate. And that's about it. Anyway, I'll share more about it. Probably I will publicize it as well. If that's the one I end up going with, we'll give away that. We'll give away some switches. Maybe we'll do some soldering. I don't know. We're basically in a holding pattern until the manta and some other stuff starts showing up. So we will have some fun with that. Oh, we should, against Mal's advice, we're gonna peel off the protective film on the weight, or on the accent weight on the bottom of this keyboard that we've had for almost 2 years. But let's do it as a little final send off tonight. So let me unplug this. We'll zoom in. We'll get the money shot here. Mal, look away, Mal. You don't have to watch this if you don't want to. So you can see all the bubbles and the smudgies on the outside. So the film is still on there. So let's get an angle. Oh wait, I hit the chat. I didn't mean to. This is how I ended up deleting things by mistake last time. So here we go. Ready? Oh, here, let's pause the music so we can hear the sound. Let me get a corner. Pristine. Look at that. Where am I? Yar. There it is. The lovely Neo 80 weight in all of its glory. On our lovely split personality Kaiju build that turned out pretty fun. I'll probably leave these on here for a little bit, and then they can all go their own ways to different boards eventually, but fun to do, fun to do. Now I know we usually raid Alex when we stream because he often starts around a half hour after I do, but I think he's off tonight. So, who is available to raid? Looks like Manic Geek. I like that Neo logo better than the CU series. Yeah, I agree with that. I also thought they were a little over-engineered as well. But I do like, yeah, some of that, the simplicity of some of the earlier Neo stuff. But yeah. Should be back next week, hopefully. Next Tuesday at the normal time. If you want to get pinged about when things go live or to see kind of a stream schedule and ideas of stuff like that, feel free to join Macaronis and Keys, my Discord, which is fairly quiet and low-key. People pop in from time to time, but it's not like a bustling place. It's more of a quiet corner off the town square. But feel free to hop in there and sign up for pings if you want to. And let us raid. If I can... It'd probably be good to put a space in here. The Manic Geek. Let me make sure I am typing the name correctly. And go give him some love. Looks like it's working on a mode envoy right now, which is cool. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.